What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the word? Hummingbird. Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After Season 7, Episode 10. I have to remember to look at the camera and not at the actual screen. So pray for me. We're going to start off with Sumit and Jenny. Y'all, please go and look at my previous 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After review entitled Sumit is Out Here Conning Everybody, because in that video I predicted exactly what he said he was going to do. In that video, I had predicted that Sumit was going to use his business or his job just as a cover for him to go and do whatever the hell he wants to do all day, all night, 7 days a week, because he doesn't want to be home with Jenny. He doesn't want to be home and play house with Jenny. He wants to live as a single man, and I went through all my reasons why I thought that, what his master plan is, how he's manipulating his parents into not finding a wife for him, how he's manipulating Jenny into taking care of him, and he's going to be in the middle, living his best life, hanging out all day and all night with his homeboys, because in this episode, Jenny says to him when he talks about he's going to be going back to work, he's going to be going back to work at the cafe with his business partner slash friend. Jenny tells him that you better not be coming home all hours of the night drunk. And that's exactly what he's going to do if Jenny decides to stay in this relationship with him and decides to stay in India. But I'm jumping way ahead of myself. So let's start from the beginning. Sumit and Jenny. So when we see Sumit and Jenny in this episode, Sumit is getting ready to go to work. Like I said before, his friend owns a cafe. I don't know if they own it 50-50 or what the hell is going on, but there's a cafe that his friend owns, and Sumit used to work there before as a chef, and so that's where he's going to be working again. Knowing that Jenny doesn't like it, Jenny's not comfortable with this, he's going to do it anyway. Now, you would think to yourself, now why would Jenny be against Sumit going to work and having extra income come into the household? Because she has her social security check, he'll have a paycheck coming in. Who in the hell would be against more money? Well, I think it's going to be Jenny. She's going to be against it because she knows damn well it's not going to be that much more money, if any, because he's not going to be doing much work. He's just going to be hanging out the whole entire time. So this is the reason why Jenny, in my personal opinion, this is the reason why Jenny is so uncomfortable with him going to work. Sumit says that making more money, he wants to make more money so that they can have a good life in India so they don't have to move to the U.S. That's his BS excuse of why he needs to be working 7 days a week, which, like I said, there's nothing wrong with someone working 7 days a week to bring home the money, but I don't think the money that he's going to be bringing home is going to make that much of a difference in their lifestyle in how they're living. So before he goes to work, he orders her to go shopping. Yes, he orders her to go shopping. And Jenny, she's all nervous about it because she's never been grocery shopping by herself before in India without Sumit. So, she was worried about it, whatever. She was fine. So when she goes out shopping at the first little market or the first vendor she goes to buy vegetables, the woman tries to overcharge her because I guess they see her as an American woman or a Western woman, a Western white woman who probably doesn't know the ins and outs of Indian shopping or Indian bargaining or whatever. So it was very obvious that the first woman was trying to take advantage of her. And, Jenny was all like, you know what? You're overcharging me. I know you're overcharging me, so just forget it. So she goes to the next vendor, and I guess she got something a little bit more affordable. Now, Sumit is at the cafe with his homeboy, and he had told Jenny that he was going to be working 7 days a week. Jenny, of course, talked about how she didn't like that. But he was like, you know what? He didn't care. He's like, this is what I have to do to make money. And this is just how it is. I have to work 7 days a week. But then when he's at the cafe with his homeboy is talking to him like, look, I'm expecting you to put in a lot of hours to help me out at this cafe. And Sumit is like, oh, but my wife, Jenny, she only wants me to work 5 days a week. Okay, which is it, Sumit? Are you okay with working 7 days a week, or are you okay with working 5 days a week? Because you're talking out of both sides of your mouth. You tell Jenny you ain't got no choice. You got to put in the hours. Now you're telling your homeboy here, hey, my wife, I can't be here all day, every day. You see how he tries to manipulate people and he's playing both sides of the fence? So the business partner says, Jenny has taken over Sumit's life. Everything is about Jenny, Jenny, Jenny. He says before he met Jenny, we were hanging out all the time, having a good time. Life was wonderful. Now Jenny came into his life, and now it's all about what Jenny wants, what Jenny needs. Jenny, 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 Jenny. So Sumit knows that. Okay, then he talks about the kids. So he tells his business partner that he wants to have some damn kids, and his business partner is like, "What? Excuse me? I've never known Sumit to even like children, let alone wanting to have children. What the hell is he talking about?" So this is part of his master plan, right? So I don't believe that Sumit it wants to have a child to please his parents. I don't think he gives. I don't think he gives a damn about that. I think what Sumit, well, maybe it'll please his parents, maybe it won't, but I don't think that's the main focus. I think what Sumit really wants to do is he wants to it is so hard. I'm not invested in this relationship with Sumit, but it's hard for me to stay one step ahead of Sumit because he's so conniving. I don't know how Jenny does it. I don't know how Jenny, who's in the relationship with him, I don't know how in the hell she's able to stay abreast of all of Sumit's plans and schemes and manipulation. So this whole thing, I'm still not sure exactly why he would want to have a child, because I don't think having a child will make his parents like Jenny anymore. I just don't think so. I just don't see it. I don't think it's going to make any difference to his parents if he has this child with Jenny. They're still going to see her as an old woman who couldn't have, natural children with Sumit, who took their son away from them, who is too old, who looks like his mother, maybe even his grandmother, and the embarrassment and the shame of their son being with a woman so much older is still there. So having a child will probably bring even more embarrassment and shame, because it might bring even more questions like, oh my God, what the hell is going on here? Why is that old woman and that young man walking around with the baby carriage? So I don't think it's really to please his parents, because his parents are not going to change their mind about Jenny. His parents want Jenny gone. Just they want her to pack her bags and go back to wherever the hell she came from. So I'm thinking maybe he wants to have a child to anchor Jenny in the house. First of all, Jenny's not even going to agree to no damn baby. Not through no adoption, not through no surrogacy, not through a stork dropping the baby off, not through no nothing. She would not agree to having any kind of kid in any kind of way. But I don't know why he keeps bringing this up. I don't know if he wants to just piss her off more so that she can, be so upset with him that she ends up leaving and goes back to America, or maybe he wants to have a kid with a young Indian woman. That would make his parents happy. If he had like a young Indian woman as a girlfriend or as a second wife. I don't know if they do that in India like they do in Nigeria. Maybe he wants to have another woman to have babies with. That would make his parents happy, possibly. But I don't know if Jenny's going to agree with that. I don't know what the hell Sumit is trying to do with this whole baby, because we know Sumit doesn't like children. He doesn't even like children. So whatever. I don't know what's going on with that. But maybe he wants to anchor her to keep her busy and occupied at home so that he can be running the streets, working at the cafe, all hours of the night, so he can get Jenny off his back. She'll be so damn busy and tired with the baby that by the time he comes home, she's already knocked out. I have no idea what's going on with this baby idea. So, he comes home and so he comes home and she's in the kitchen and she's peeling a potato. There's nothing cooking on the stove. There's no delicious, odors of delicious spicy Indian food in the house wafting out of the windows. It's just her in the kitchen peeling a potato. And so he comes home and he's like, "What are you doing?" And she goes, "Oh, I'm just peeling this potato." And he says, "Oh, just one potato?" So he sees all the groceries that she bought, all the vegetables that she bought, and instead of like, complimenting her, like, wow, Jenny, you did really good, shopping on your own in India, bargaining, trying to get a good deal for all these groceries. He's like, he pulls out some peppers. So he pulls out two peppers and he's like, what is this? What are these for? And then she made an inappropriate joke. He's like, what are these for? Instead of like, saying something positive, he's like criticizing her. Okay, fine. So he brought food home. Okay, because he knows his wife doesn't cook. He knows Jenny doesn't cook worth a damn. So he brought food home. He's like, I ain't going home on a hungry, I'm not going to go to sleep on a hungry stomach. So let me bring home some food so we can have something to eat at least. So they're sitting at the dinner table and they're talking, and he talks to him about what his business partner expects of him. And he says, he's going to be expecting me to be working 7 days a week. Jenny is obviously not happy. She says, are you going to be working 7 days a week, or are you going to be hanging out with your friends 7 days a week? She already knows the what's up because he's done this before. She already knows the what's up. I knew the what's up before they even talked about it on the damn show. I figured that much out about Sumit. Sumit is not trying to have no damn job or trying to work or trying to do any of that. Sumit is trying to live off of Jenny or live off of his parents, whichever one comes first. And that's all he's trying to do. And he's just trying, anyway, so moving on. So she says, if you come home drunk, we're going to have a problem. What problem, Jenny? What problem? What are you going to do if Sumit comes home drunk? Because Sumit has been giving you the blues since day one, sis, and you still haven't done a damn thing. In fact, he's manipulating you more and more and more and more. All the issues that you had when y'all first got married, you are still having those issues as of today. You're still dealing with a man child who wants to go back home to his mommy, who wants his, mommy to accept him again. We talked about that in my last video, that it's all about the inheritance. That's why he's working on his relationship with his parents and wants to make sure that his parents are happy, because he's just trying to make sure that he can secure his inheritance. So when Jenny, when she's talking about, if you come home, they're going to have a problem. What are you going to do, Jenny? You haven't done nothing else so far. I mean, he's given you the blues since you landed in India, and he just keeps on getting worse. And now he's talking about he's not going to want to spend no time with you. In fact, he goes a step further and says that separation is going to be good for their relationship. He says they've been spending way too much time together and they need time apart. If that doesn't sound like the beginning of the end, I don't know what the hell does. He says they need time apart. And it'll be healthy for their relationship to start doing their own things and to start having their own interest. So Jenny says, well, you need to tell Rohit that, which is his business partner / boss, I guess. He says, you need to tell Rohit that I'm here. You need to tell him that you're here to work, and make money for your new wife. Sumit ain't going to do that, Jenny. And you know that. Because Sumit doesn't want to work. He wants to have a good time off of everybody else's dime. That's what Sumit wants to do. He doesn't want to do real work. Jenny, you've known this man for 10 years or more. I've known him for maybe 2 or 3 through watching him on my television. And I've already figured him out. He does not want to work. Jenny, stop. So Sumit says that his social life has suffered since getting married. Who the hell says something like that as a honeymooner, as a newlywed? Who the hell says, oh man, ever since I've been married, and you've been married but a minute, my social life has suffered? Why don't you say what you really mean to say, Sumit? Ever since Jenny has come to India, your social life has suffered because you've had to play husband or boyfriend or fiance to her, make her happy, make her feel secure so she can continue to take care of you. Now you want her to take care of you while you're out there gallivanting in the streets of India. So, he says that if he works, if he's away from the house a lot, Jenny will have an opportunity to be a proper Indian housewife. I cannot wait until Sumit drops the baby bomb on Jenny to see exactly how she's going to feel when he tells her that he wants to have a baby to make his parents happy. And he's going to try to manipulate her and tell her that, oh, Jenny, if we have a baby, my parents are going to accept me and everything will be fine. They'll accept us because we're going to have a family. And all they ever really wanted was for me to have a child. And he's going to get himself some young thing that's more to his liking, and he is he's gonna bang out a couple of kids, and Jenny's gonna be there to take care of them. Moving on to oh Lord have mercy. Look, what is going on with older American women and these foreign men? What's happening, y'all? We have Janie and Sumit. We have Kimberly and Usman. We have Angela and Michael. Do y'all see a pattern here? Moving on. Usman and Kimberly, they meet up to talk. Okay, they just had that big blowout argument, because the mother didn't give her blessing, and she was really upset. Kimberly was really upset because the family was, they weren't even trying to hear nothing about them getting together. And then, Usman says, look, if you want to break up with me, that's fine, because I got hundreds of beautiful, rich women waiting on me. Okay, so you do what you want to do. You do what you got to do. And I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. So that she was really upset, runs off, crying into her hotel room. The next day, here we go, they meet up. I'm so sick and tired of the fighting, the breakups to make up. I am so sick and tired. And that's like a constant theme through 90 Day Fiance. It's with every single couple. They have these huge blowout fights. Now, with the people who are actually, they have these huge blowout fights. And the people who are actually married and living together, maybe I can kind of understand. But for those who were the one person's in America, the other person's in the United, why are y'all stressing each other out and y'all don't even live together? Anyways, they had a blowout fight. So this is the next day, and they want to kiss and make up. So Usman, contacts her, or she contacts him. I don't know. They meet up. He offers her some sugar cane. She don't want it. So they talk about their fight, and he was like, it's just a big misunderstanding. I didn't say that I wanted a second wife, or I wanted you to be the second wife. That's what my family is saying, okay? That's not what I want. I want us to be together, live happily ever after. This whole first wife, second wife, so that's what my family is trying to push on us. So he suggests that maybe we should go back, talk to mommy, and instead of, my crazy brother Farak being there, I'm going to have my cousin, my brother Muhammad, and my mom, and that's it. Those are going to be the only people that we're going to talk to and try to, convince them that this is what we need to do. For whatever reason, Kimberly thinks, you say it's so interchangeable, Kimberly, Jenny, Angela, So Kimberly, for whatever reason, thinks that this is a good idea. And I'm like, what? Can y'all look at this from the mother's point of view? Like, if you were that woman, okay, and this is your handsome, successful son, okay, from her point of view, do you really believe that she's going to be okay and she's going to be happy with him having an older foreign woman where he could have a young, beautiful woman who is part of their culture, who she can relate to, who she can actually speak with on her own without a translator? They'll have things in common. It'll feel more like family. Can y'all look at it from her point? I'm not saying that the mom is right or wrong, or that Kimberly is right or wrong. I'm just saying, look at it from her point of view, and why she would be so reluctant to be okay with her son marrying, a woman who's in her 60s who can't produce any children. They fight more than they do anything else, and she lives where, I don't know. Let's move on. So they go and they meet up with mommy. And instead of Muhammad, it's that brother Farouk, the one that doesn't like Jenny. That's the one that shows up with mommy. So Usman's going to act like he's surprised. So Mommy looks like she's so over this. She looks like she's so tired. She's like, y'all keep dragging me into these meetings with these women. And my mind ain't gonna change for nothing. I already told y'all what I wanted. I already told y'all what I am willing to work with. Okay, y'all need to leave me the hell alone. Either you're gonna marry the woman that I want you to marry and give me some damn grandbabies, or leave me the hell alone. So supposedly Farouk, Jenny is not Jenny, Kimberly is able to win over Farouk because I guess Farouk himself is military or ex-military. Kimberly says that she's ex-military, and so Farouk was really impressed by that because he says military recognize military. He feels like some sort of like when military people run into each other, when they meet each other, it's like you feel that sense of commonality or camaraderie, amongst other military people, regardless of where you're from, where you're coming from, who you are. It's always that sense of, I guess, like brotherhood or sisterhood or whatever. So he's like, you know what? Okay, Kimberly, she's good in my books. I like her. She's all right. Kimberly shows pictures of her son. They were surprised that her son was part black because they were asking, "Oh, is he one of us? Is he part of us?" And it's like, yes, he's mixed or he's biracial. And so Farouk ends up apologizing to Kimberly for his past behavior. And he says that he sees her completely differently now because of the whole military thing. And Mama don't give a damn. Mom was like, I don't give a damn about no military stuff. I don't give a damn if all of y'all like her and accept her. I'm not giving my blessings. I already told y'all what it is. So, when they ask mommy, okay, so mommy, blah, 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 she's like, okay, look, I already told you what I wanted. I already have a house of girl who is ready to meet you. She is ready and willing. She is chomping at the bit to get to you, Usman. She's somebody that I approve of. She can give us a whole bunch of babies and grandbabies and whatnot. So what? What do y'all want from me? So when the mommy refuses to give the blessing, Farouk is like, okay, well, we're done. We're done here. Farouk he's not even trying to like fight for the relationship. He's like, I may like you, but if mommy don't like you, what y'all want me to do? She said what she said. So I'm like, as Kim had said earlier on in the segment, that she will not allow to be manipulated ever again by a man. And I'm like, Kimberly, the only thing that Usman has ever done was manipulate you since day one. That's the only thing these people are manipulating the hell out of you. His whole entire family, Usman, all of them are in on it, girl. You are just Kimberly, everybody knows that Usman is not serious about, number one, making you the first wife. He ain't serious about that. Number two, possibly he's not even serious about marrying you, period. And you're letting these people make a fool out of you because, I don't know, I think it's a money thing. I think it's either a money thing or an immigration thing. Either he's trying to get them papers to come to the United States to further his career, or he's enjoying the fact that she's giving him money and taking care of him and paying for studio time. I don't know what else it could be, because he doesn't act like someone who is that interested in her. If you have to beg for the yammy from your man, like literally beg for it, I don't know what you're doing, girl. Kimberly, I don't know what the hell you're doing, but I know what they're doing. They're manipulating the hell out of you. That's why they're like, okay, you can be the second wife. We'll let you in our family. Okay, you can be in our family, but you ain't gonna be the first wife. You're gonna be the second wife. They want Kimberly for the money, and they want the second wife for the children. Sometimes you gotta call a thing a damn thing. They want Kimberly for the money, and they want the second wife, the house girl, to give the babies, to prolong, to what do you call it, to ensure the legacy and to let the name live on. That's all that is. Moving on. Angela and Michael. Y'all, it's the morning after their damn fight. That damn fight where she was knocking tables down, yelling in his face. She yelled so much that her voice went hoarse. It's the morning after, and they're waking up in bed together. If that ain't some foolishness, I don't know what the hell is. They're waking up together. She's on the phone with her friend Renee, and she's like, "Girl, guess who I got with me?" And then she pans the phone to where Michael is, in the frame, and they're just giggling. Kimberly's just, I mean, what's her name? Angela. She's just giggling away. So they're waking up together, y'all. She said that she was so mad at him the night before she left him at the damn restaurant. He followed her home like a lost puppy. Michael says he got real lucky the night before. Then they gotta share details with us that we didn't ask for. He says that he loves her smaller, thinner body, and he gives us the reasons why. Anyways, so basically, he had promised her that he was going to take down his Instagram, so that just so that he could have a chance to talk to her. I don't know what the hell he was talking. Look, I can only keep up with so much manipulation. I'm already my ink is running dry. Can y'all see? My ink is running dry from writing down the manipulations of Sumit. I don't have any more ink to write the manipulations of Michael and Angela. He told her that he was going to take his Instagram because he just wanted to butter her up so that he could talk to her or something. He never did take down the Instagram. So now she's mad again because he refuses to take down the Instagram. She wherever they went, she left him. She was like, "I'm going home." He says, "No, no, no, no. Let me take you back to your hotel." She's like, "Hell no. I'll find my own way to the hotel." She calls an Uber. She gets back to her hotel. Next thing you know, Michael is right there. Now, I had read there's been a lot of stuff on Twitter and on Reddit and all kinds of social media platforms talking about how Michael is in a abusive relationship because, Angela is a lot. She's very scary. The yelling, the name calling, criticizing him, degrading him, knocking stuff over, all this other stuff. And so on Reddit, there's this whole stream or thread. There's this whole thread about, Angela being abusive to Michael and how in the world can TLC allow this, because if it was the other way around, it wouldn't be tolerated if it was a man acting that way to a female, so on and so forth. And, I don't know, because these people are just constantly manipulating one another, lying to one another. I don't know what the hell is going on. She, anyways, well, let me just get on with it. I don't know if Michael is being abused by Angela. Maybe he is, because she's a lot to handle. When she's angry with him, it's vicious. It is so vicious when she gets mad at him. But then he follows her back to the hotel room. And he stands over her and she tells him, "Get away from me. You're in my space. Get away from me." Anyways, so she lost her voice from yelling at him so damn much. She goes back to her room. I'm all over the place with this because it really doesn't matter. It's just a constant repeat. It's a repeat. If it's not Instagram, it's something else. It's just a constant cycle of the same old, same old. She gets mad at something. They yell and they scream at each other. Then they get into bed together and everything is fine. Then she finds another reason to get mad at him. It's just a constant cycle. I don't know what else to say. If I was a producer or an executive at TLC, I'd be like, "Y'all, time's up. Time's up. You're not giving us nothing new. You ain't giving us nothing new. You ain't moving forward with the immigration process, moving forward as in him actually coming to the United States." She keeps playing. And even if he even does come to the United States, what is going to be any different? What's going to be any different? It's going to be a whole lot worse. I mean, the stress is going to come on 100 times more, because he's going to have real problems and real issues to deal with. She's going to be on him. Anyways, she leaves. She's gone. She's out of there. I don't know where the hell she went. He runs into Renee. Renee says that the problem between y'all is it's not even about Instagram. It's just about control. Y'all get mad at each other. You have issues. She's got issues. It's just everybody got issues all the way around. This whole relationship is abusive. Okay, I don't know if it's Angela abusive to Michael. They're abusive to one another. This whole entire relationship is just they're abusing us. Okay, how about that? How about the fact that we're victims of this abuse of watching these people, hate on each other, scream and yell at each other? We're like the children that are stuck in the home of parents who fight like cats and dogs. That's what's going on here. That's what's happening here. We're the victims of the damn abuse. Moving on to Jovi and Yara. So they're in Europe. Yara goes out with her mom. She takes a walk with her mom around the town square or wherever the hell they are with her baby. And she's looking around and she's like, "Oh, I'm in Europe. I'm back home. I love this. I've missed Europe so much, even though it's not my home country. I'm in Europe, blah blah blah." So she's feeling extremely, homesick for her country, her continent. And so she is comparing everything to New Orleans, the coffee, the this, the that, and everything is just so much better in Europe than it is in New Orleans. So she is talking to her mom about the possibility of her living in Prague. And I'm beginning to wonder if that's the reason why she wanted to leave on this trip on her own and not go with Jovi, because she wanted, she had this plan that she was going to consider living there, possibly getting an apartment there, and she wanted to do all of this behind his back. And that's why she was so adamant about going there without him. So when she gets back to the hotel room, she tells, or the next morning, I don't know when, he was just waking up, I don't know what day it is. She tells him that she wants to look for an apartment in Prague. And this completely blindsides him. He's like, "Excuse me? For what?" And she says, "Because I want to live here." And so then she tries to soften it up by saying, "I want to get an apartment here so that when I do travel to Europe, I'll have a place to stay." He's absolutely against it because he's like, "You didn't tell me about this. How are you just going to go look for an apartment without even telling me?" He's just not happy with it. And I think to a certain point, it's understandable. It's like, you're here, he thought that they were there just to make sure that her family and friends were okay, and for her to see her mom, and for the mom to see the grandbaby, and that was it, like a little vacation or something, and to check on everybody, not considering living there and getting a whole apartment over there. So he was like completely blindsided. And so she was like, "Well, if it's a money thing, don't worry about it because I have my own money." Girl, it's not a money thing. He didn't say that it was a money thing. I don't think it's an issue of affordability. It's the fact that you want to live halfway across the world, or halfway across the world from him. Like, he's like, "What?" I don't know what's going on between Yara and Jovi. I don't know if this is the beginning of the end for them. I don't know if she is really considering just having, like a second home so that when she travels, she doesn't have to worry about hotels. She can just stay in her little apartment over there. I don't know, but it's not a good look. If this is real, this is not a good look for Jovi and Yara. I have a feeling this is the beginning of the end. Yara has not liked the U.S. since she landed. She absolutely cannot stand New Orleans. They moved further out from the city. She's still not happy. And then Jovi even tells her, "My mom warned me about this." And I was like, "There's just no way." But my mom even told me that, she was worried that you're going to want to stay here. So my whole thing is this. Yara, what was your intentions when you were applying for your green card? Was your intentions to eventually come back to Europe? Or were your intentions to actually stay in the United States? Because this is huge. This is very, very huge. This is big. Because if you gave this man the impression that you wanted to start a new life with him in the United States, then doing the old switcheroo on him, or whatever you want to call it, flipping the script on him, girl, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. And the way you approached it is absolutely wrong. If this is something that you wanted to do, you should have had a conversation with him from a long time ago. If you're homesick and you would rather live in Europe, but you don't want to break up your family, you could have approached this a little bit differently. I don't know. Maybe you know that your husband would never agree to living in Europe. I don't know, but I don't know what you're trying to do, Yara. I have no idea. I mean, if it was me, I wouldn't mind living in Europe. I really wouldn't, but it ain't me. Moving on to Andrei and Elizabeth. So they announced that they're pregnant. Congratulations to them. They go to the clinic for the ultrasound. They see the baby. She's about 12 weeks along. And Andre is really adamant that they don't tell the siblings that Elizabeth is pregnant. He says you can tell some family members. I guess it's okay to tell like the dad, maybe the mom, but he does not want them to tell the siblings at all. Andre, you can't dictate to your wife what she can and can't tell her brothers and sisters. Like, what the hell? He's extremely controlling. He's very irrational. I understand that he's a little bit easy on the eyes, and yeah, he's a hunk of a man. And I understand, Libby's attraction to him, but girl, I don't think it's worth that temper, that attitude, that personality. I don't think it's worth it because I just don't know how she lives with that man and that anger and I don't know how she lives with him. And the fact that his father is the complete opposite. Like, how does a man like that, who's so calm and so serene and so reasonable and so sweet and gentle, produce such a Tasmanian devil? How? Because Andre is out of his mind. Anyways, so let's see how that goes. Ed and Liz, they're back together again. Thank you so much for joining me in this review. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. I got to remember to look at the camera. If you like this content, please go ahead and subscribe, and I will definitely talk to you later.